Alright, CSS battle time. We're doing school shape. Should be pretty fun. I think one paragraph tag. So I'm thinking radial gradient, body, paragraph tag, and take the bottom border out of it. I want that tag, I want border radius off. So maybe I can set border radius with a font thing. Alright, that's the plan. Oh yeah, I wanted to, two things. I want to set a timer. I've been spending way too long on these, and I need to actually stay accountable. So I'm setting a 15-minute timer. Alright, so I got that going. The other thing is, in my description, I always put how I did, whether I got 100% or not. So if you're watching this looking for a good idea, I will tell you to not waste your time, whether it's a good idea. I actually had a good solution or not. I'm not doing this like for views or anything like that. It's more of documentation and community. I'm just kind of hanging out with you all. So with that in mind, check the description. I'll be honest about what's going on with this. All right. Background. If I do the radial gradient, I gotta do a border and border radius as it is. But I don't think I need position fixed because the paragraph will be inside the body tag. If I use a radial gradient, I think I can avoid a position fixed. I'm not sure if that'll hold true. You know how I do. All right, so we do the 1Q to make it a circle, so we don't have to write out circle. It just works. And we're going to do the green. It's gonna be like 75 pixels, I'm guessing. And that's the one that, if I make that a much bigger value, like more than 75 pixels, if I use font for that, I might be able to just do the one background for everything. Might be able to. Okay. Sorry, I got lost in thought there. Let's do 0 and then 95 pixels, and then we're going to go green again. Great. Looks decent. It's a little bit big. Let's drop this to like 50. That's a little small. 60. Let's just get it moved, and then we're going to use the @ to move it, not background position, because I don't want to have things repeating. Because if you use background position shorthand after this, what happens is it positions the circle, but it does it as if the element still is this big of a box, and then you slide it up, and so the repeating of it slides up too. Does that make sense? But @ just tells you where the center of the gradient should start and be at without any repeat, and it positions it where it should be in that box, not how it would tile outside of the box, I guess, if that bit was as clear as mud. All right, so 50% for the left, right, and then like 20 pixels. All right, so two things. Let's isolate the HTML while we're doing the gradient so we don't have the overlap of the body. And then we are going to move this down 60, 80, 100. Oops, 100. Now that's the other thing that I might be able to do with this is instead of try to change 10. Okay. Not bad. All right, let's drop this down to 80. That looks great. I love that. Okay. The two ways I could hide this gradient in our body element here and just have a green background. I could move it up, right? So I could change this to an M value and then do font, 2M or whatever. Like, make it so that it moves out of the way, just so we have mostly green because the circle is positioned in a weird spot. I could do that, or I could change the 60 pixels to an M value and then also expand our circle So that actually, if I do that, then as long as it ends up being a value more than 80 pixels, we'll just have a solid green circle. Because watch what happens when you turn this to 80. It disappears, right? Because this color hint says this color needs to stop at 80 pixels, right? So if this ends at 80 pixels, then we don't get anything. So I think that's the way I'm going to go. 16, I'm getting better at this math. 3 would be 48. 58, 64 is 4. So it's 4 pixels over 64, which is a 0.25. So it's 3.75 m. Oh man, I feel like I just botched that math, but we're about to find out. We're good. We're good. It's an extra couple characters, right? Because it's 2 extra characters doing that, but I think it'll save me down the road. So let's come down here. We are going to, well, shoot, I probably don't even, if I just leave it like this, since we're only using a background property on this, actually, I don't think I even need to do this. Yeah, I do, because what'll happen is the body will be transparent if I don't put a background on the body, and then we'll see the circle coming through, and I do need it to be green. So let's come to our body, and we are going to give it a border, and we know it's 20 pixels wide, because that's the circle and the border here look about the same. Solid, and we will give it its color. Okay, good. And let's give it a border radius of, let's do that for the moment. When we shrink it down with margin, that border radius will become more apparent because it'll be greater value of the whole. I still have the square. Oh, I see why. I see why. Let's try 2M. Actually, we might do 1M, and then I'll change font above it for this whole thing to work. Margin 50. Okay. And let's get this going. Let's just get it down in displace 110. Good. Left and right look like they need to be like 90. Yeah, good. And then our bottom needs to be like 50. Nope, 30. So far, so good. Now, our margin is not enough, and we are getting that circle still because of where it's positioned. So let's try this. What if we go font 2M and then a fake font name? Okay, our circle's still there. 3M? Nope. 2M probably looks, it's pretty good. Border radius, I think I need to do something like 200%. No, why is my circle still there? Oh. I don't think it's cascading down. There it goes. There we go. I had a transparent border because it wasn't cascading down. So let's go back to the 2M. We might have to do something like 2.1 or something like that to get this to work. No. 1.9. That looks pretty good. We'll see what happens. I'll be changing that, I think, if I need to change anything. All right, so let's get our paragraph tag going. How much time do I got left? I have 6 minutes left. Let's pull this together. This is where I expect things to fall apart because, okay, so let's go margin 0. There we go. I have had issues of assigning font again, and it just not cascading down. Okay. Seems okay at the moment. Let's move it down. It's moving down. It's not stuck to the body. Thank goodness. 40 on the top. Left and right looks like 45. Nope. 50. Okay. And the bottom is 0. Bottom is 0. I might have to give this an actual height, I think. Yeah, I have to give it a height. Right now we're just seeing the height of the borders, and we'll have to eliminate the bottom border. Oh, it does have border. Oh, I see why it has border radius. Guess I gotta close that. 50, 40. Oh, and we're getting the radial gradient back. I guess I can't have it both ways. All right, border radius. I think I'm trying to do too much. So our circle here for a background has now made an appearance as a, in the background because our font is set to 0 now. I would think it would disappear to nothing, and then, oh, it did. The green disappeared to nothing, and so this is going up to 80 pixels, and its positioning makes it show up like that. So that's what we got going on. What if okay, what if I do this? No, that's kind of stupid. I was thinking of adding a second color stop on here that was the same as this one, like do another green one that goes to 60 pixels, and we'd still have we'd still have that there. That wouldn't even work. That's just silliness right here. But one would disappear, one would stay, and yeah, I don't need that noise. All right, let's decide on a way to tackle this. I like not having to write border radius again in order to eliminate the border radius. I do like that here. I like not having to write another background. I'd love to not write another background. I think what I might end up having to do is change this sort of thing, the 110 pixels, to an M value, and see if that messes everything up. I might have an easier time of things. I might have... No, I have to do the 1.8 because that is what affects border radius. So I can do the 1M here on the border radius. I have a spaghetti code here right now. So 110 divided by 16 gives me 6.875. That is glorious. 6.875. This is where like the idea, oh, okay, all right. So now it is all that color. So if that's at 0, that's the top bottom, so it moved it up to 0. So that doesn't work. Okay, good. Good to know. I needed to actually go the other direction. I need to push it down. I could variabilize that. Or I could just write another background. You know? That's kind of what it comes down to. I think I'm out of time for trying to figure that out. Yeah, I got a minute and a half left. Variable it is. Quick and dirty. Maybe you'll come up with a better solution to hide it. P, and then do that, and then we're going to go here, dash dash P, and we're going to give it something like 5. Okay. Okay, good. And we're going to do a -10 on this, 50, 60, oops. Let's hope the negative margin would pull it without, okay, 50, -20. It's not moving. Okay, there it goes. And then border bottom. border color. I gotta change the border on the bottom to nothing, to the green color. No, to nothing, I think. That's a really long property value. Ew. Yuck. I'm out of time. I didn't think. Ooh, ew. Okay. That's not good. Width. Still not good. Okay. Alright. I'm out of time. Position fixed it is. And we are going to hide the border bottom. And what that's going to do is we'll take the height out. We'll do padding. We're going to get rid of this margin. Alright. What do we need? We need like 20 by 25. There we go. Margin goes 0. 50. Alright. So close to a good solution. It's too wide. 20, and we need taller, 30, something like that. So the top margin, 40. There we go. Border bottom. Nothing. Oh god, there's an easier way to do this. I think I know the easier way. I wonder if I can just say border bottom and do that. Nope. Dash color. Okay. Why is it a triangle? It's a triangle because of that. Can I hide that? Okay. New idea. It's getting amplified there, so that doesn't work. There's a way to do it with borders, and I'm a little bummed that I didn't figure it out. So we're gonna do 10, 0. Block shadow isn't gonna work because it won't be the same on the sides as the top because I have to shift it up. What am I missing? What am I not thinking of, you guys? It is clearly me not thinking of something proper with the border. Okay, what did I change here? Okay, that's the shape that I want. Why is it? Oh, because we are seeing the, okay. Sometimes I'm really dumb, you know? Just sometimes. I've been doing this long enough. That should have been obvious. Okay. Couple things. Oh, I am using the variable there. I do need that. Well, good news. We hit 100% today. Really fun. That's great news. That's exciting. That's not been the common thing. Bad news is I went overtime. And that was confusing as all get out. And I did some weird things. Other good news. I actually didn't have to use position fix like I thought I would. Bad news was I got tripped up on borders. And I've used borders like that so much. 247. That's pretty ugly. I think that's not great for this situation. I imagine we'll see things probably in the 150 area. It's because I'm getting too fancy with font. I'm doing too much right there. And then I did border bottom width 0. Maybe I can just do. If I just did border width, I would have. I'd have to do 1, 2, 3. Is that better? So we're at 247. We'd have 20 pixels, 20 pixels, 0, right? 250, yeah. Just saying border bottom is better than all that. Okay. Could have done Control Z instead of typing it. Alright, I gotta leave it. It was fun. It was great. Thank you. Catch you guys later. Bye.